Welcome to another weekly stock market update. Today is October 20th, 2019. In this video, we're going to take a look at the cash index of the S&P 500 along with its EMINI future ES and also the Nasdaq 100 cash index and also its EMINI future, the NQ, along with the ETF, the SPDR, and also the QQQ. Then at the end of the video, we're going to take a look at the crude oil and the gold market. So before I begin, I just want to remind you to click the thumbs up if you like the contents in this video. If you're not a subscriber on my YouTube channel, click on the subscribe and also the notification icon so you won't miss any of my future video. On here is the weekly chart of the S&P 500. As you can see, it closed with a positive on the week. It did make a move above this pivot high here. The two previous week high, and the week is a little bit more subdued than the past 2 weeks. As you can see, the past 2 weeks is pretty volatile, and this week is a little bit more subdued or a little bit more normalized in a sense. And that's probably because Monday was a partial holiday of Columbus Day. So anyway, we are still watching the S&P 500 trying to make its way up to the all-time high at 3,027.98. It seems to be having a little bit of a struggle. And if we take a look at the daily chart here, on the daily, as you can see here, we see this, we're looking for this pullback. If we were to pull back from the previous week, shooting star type of candle here, and to fill this gap and then possibly come back down and test this 2939 area. And as you can see that it got a little bit of a inside day on Monday. Then on Tuesday, when the market resumed, it pushes back up and close above this pivot high here at 2992.53. Then it also formed another inside day here, and then now it seems to be pulling back after it tried to make its way up on Thursday toward the this pivot high, and we're saying that once you get up above this pivot high, then the all-time high is pretty much in play. And right now it seems to be pulling back, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more of a pullback, and also put up the 50-day moving average here. A lot of people was watching that, and there might be a little bit of a reversion to the mean and come back down and fill this gap and maybe come down and tag this 50-day moving average as it move to and come back down to test this potential support at 2939.08. Here we're looking at the ES, the EMINI S&P 500 future. You can see that it is also trying to get up to this all-time high at 3,029.50. It's unable to stay above the 2994, so we'll be looking for the possibility of a pullback and fill this gap and come down and test this 2944 here. And there are some high volume node down here. One prominent one is the 2922, and also it's a little bit of a composite point of control. Then we're basically looking at this pivot low here, the 2890.50. If it pull back, but if it continue to push up and able to stay above the 2994, then we definitely keep an eye on the all-time high of 3029.50. Here looking at the ETF for the S&P 500, the SPY, as you can see that it made it up above the 298.46 and then pulled back. Right now, again, we're basically looking for the possibility of watching this gap get filled if it come down to test this 294.22. But if it's able to push back above the 298.46, then we're essentially looking for this all-time high to be 102.63 level to get tested. And looking at the weekly Nasdaq 100 cash index, we see that there is a shooting star type of a pattern here, candlestick. And right now, we're essentially watching to see will it be able to continue to push up to the all-time high of 8,027.18, or would it come back down and retest this 77.4708 and possibly come down to this 73.5627. So if we take a look at the daily, you can see on the daily chart, it stayed above the 7821.72, and it was able to peak above the 7975.33, but unable to close above it. So right now, we're basically looking for a little bit of a pullback and possibly fill this gap. We're still basically watching for this gap to get filled and come down and test the 7747.08 and possibly get down to this level here. Going to move this level to this pivot low here at 7604.27. So essentially, if it come down, break the 7747.08, then I'll be watching for the 7604.27 to possibly get tested. Here, looking at the NQ, the EMINI Nasdaq 100 futures, we see that again, it came up to this 79.8150. It did close above this FOMC 78.78 here. Remember, we were saying that if it could stay above here, then basically looking for this pivot, for potential resistance 79.8150, and if we could take out this pivot high, then definitely we'll be watching for the all-time high here, the 8,051.75. Right now, it seems like it also is, could be pulling back on a Friday, a little bit of a sell-off on Friday here. So we're basically looking for this gap to get filled and come down and retest this 77.82 and possibly come down. There are some high volume no here, somewhere near the 76.90.75, and also this trend line here, this supporting trend line. So we continue to watch on the downside for the gap to get filled and the trend line to be possibly get tested. And here the QQQ ETF for the Nasdaq 100, and this too also came close to get above this 194.71, but right now it seems to be pulling back and holding this 190.59. So if it come down and dip below that, we'll be watching this this level here, 189.68, and possibly get this gap to be filled if it dip below to this level, and then maybe we see that there could be a possibility of moving down here to this 187.12 on this high volume node here. So that is the indexes, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. And now we just kind of review the oil, crude oil. It didn't do too much last week. It's sort of been chopping around here, and we're still waiting for it to make a move. Either it is able to get above this level here, this pivot high at 54.75, and try to make its way up to this high volume area and possibly get into this gap here at 56.86. So there are some potential resistance up here near the 56 area if it could push above the 54.75. Otherwise, we still watching this thing to come back down and possibly retest this low down here near the 50.60 area. And for the gold market, we're still waiting for this thing to make its move. I've been waiting for it to pull back to this retracement zone here and dip down below this 1450 area and watch the price action. There is a low volume area here that I'm watching, for this thing to come down, essentially fill this gap here, because there are a couple gap here that is waiting to be filled on a pullback. But if it could push up and get above this high volume area, this high volume zone, and break above this trend line, then we could see a move back up toward this 1562.80. But right now, I'm still waiting for this pullback to possibly get down to this, underneath the 1450 and into this area or 1415. And this basically is a 50% retracement of this this swing move here. And that's basically what I'm waiting for on the goal. And unless it make a smooth breakout, then I'd be looking for a pullback from the breakout and then look for a long position to swing long into this pivot high. But right now I'm just waiting for a pullback, then be looking for some sort of swing long setup back to this swing high here. And that is this weekly stock market update. Good luck on your trading, and thank you for watching.